In this demo, I'm going to demonstrate how we create a page in our WordPress, and on that page, how we then create a web gallery of images, how we publish that page, and also how we organize that page in a navigation menu so when people visit your site, they can navigate to that page. Now, I'm in the back end of my WordPress. I've logged in. And on the left-hand column here, you'll see that it says Site Pages. We're going to add a page. And the first page we're going to add is called Assignments. I don't mind what you call this. It could be projects, assignments, portfolios, works, whatever you like. But for our sake, I'm calling it Assignments. I'm going to publish this page now. And you'll notice it takes us to a preview of what this page looks like on our website. I'm now going to close out of this, and I'll be back here where I want to now add a page. And this is going to be an assignment page. I'm going to title this one Short 1. Now, we have two modes for inserting a image gallery. One of them is visual, in this visual mode, and this looks often like a text editing program of some sort. You also have HTML mode, which would be inserting things with HTML code. We'll get to more of this later when we need to. And then you're also able to toggle and give yourself some more options. And to the left here, you have what's called Add Content. We're going to add some media this way, and you have other options as well. And then I want you to pay attention over here to our settings. We'll get to that after we build our gallery. Okay, I'm going to add some media. The media I'm going to add here are a selection of images. Now, I've already added these images, but I'm going to show you again how I did that. You have a couple ways of doing this. You can either select Add New, and you can navigate to that folder. I have an image folder that I made on my desktop. You can select all of these and select Open, and it will open those images into your media folder here. Or you can go to those folders directly on your computer, which I'm doing now. On a Mac, this is a new Finder window, and I'm at my Images folder on my desktop, and I can just drag and drop these in. Now notice when I drag them and drop them in, they're automatically numbered as they're loading. Now if I had one image selected, let me deselect these. If I had one image select, I could insert that image directly as a single image. If I have more than one selected, WordPress assumes you now want to make what's called a web gallery. So we're going to select these. You can choose the order you want here, but you can also edit that later, so don't worry about that immediately. You also have the ability, if you have a lot of images, to zoom in and out in view and see more images at once. So I'm going to select Continue, and it's going to open up a new window, which is your web gallery editing window. Here it defaults to what's called a layout of tiled mosaic. You can play around with this if you like. More traditional would be maybe thumbnail grids. You can also create circles. You could change the number of columns. You could create a slideshow, and so on. This looks like it's slow to preview. Now I'm going to come up to the default just because I like this and it's fine. Now if I select, right now we're in preview, I select Edit, you now have the option when it's previewed. My internet is not giving me a good read of these images, but these images will preview for you most likely. You're able to edit and give captions. So for our short one of them was to photograph someone in water. Now you're able to also move these around and reorder them if you like, depending on your preference. And if I come back to preview, you'll see that the images have changed. This one has a caption and it's previewing that. You'll see in a minute what that looks like. Now, don't worry about the link to or random order. You can choose random order if you like. That means every time someone visits that gallery, the image order is different. And don't worry about attachment page just yet. You can have things go directly to a media file or none, or in our case, I'll show you, it will be a larger preview of the images. Now below in the right hand corner, you have what's called insert. Now it brings us back to our page that we've generated, and here we're in visual mode. If I select this, it now is a single object on this page. Now up here above this, when it's highlighted, you can remove this and start over, or you can also come back to edit if you want to make some changes. I'm going to update, come back here. Now at this point I'm ready to publish this, but I want to show you some of these settings and make some alterations. So the status here, I can publish this immediately. I can also schedule it to be published at a future time. I could password protect this page and only give permission to people who have a password, or I can create administrators and editors to collaborate on this page. I can also give what's called a featured image. I'll explain more of what this does and how it works for us in making blog posts, but for right now, don't worry about it for your pages. But so you can see, you can set a feature image that might be larger depending on which template you chose for your WordPress. Under page attributes, I'm going to explain what would be called a parent page. So right now, the URL says my web address .wordpress.com/short1. That means it's a top level page. I actually want this to be a child page to what would be called the assignment page or a parent page. Now when I do that, it's going to change this slug when I update and publish to say /assignments/short1. Now you have sharing options if you'd like, and some more options down here, like changing this slug here so it can say what you like. And it looks like you can also add a bunch of other things like location, stuff like that. We're not worried about that at this moment. Now I'm going to select publish. I'm going to publish immediately. I'm not sure why it's not previewing here, so I hope I didn't lose that. Good, I didn't. Now it's showing me a preview of the page on my website. You can also select up here and it'll take you directly to what the world will see online. So if I went to this URL address up here, you can come directly to this page. Now notice up here it says assignments. Under assignments I have short1. Now I'm going to show you how to edit this in a second, but I want to preview for you what it'll look like when these images are blown up. And I believe this one had a caption, and you can see the title there. Now, I'm going to come back to what's called My Site, which will give me a selection of my back end, and I'm going to come down to what's called Customize. Now right now you'll see that there's an icon showing up next to a few items on the preview of our website under this Customize menu. I'm going to select ones to show you that that'll take you directly to a place where you can edit that content. So if I went here It's taking me, looks like it's editing the footer here. If I'd like, I can change the footer to say WordPress.com. Now, I'm going to back out and I'm going to go to what's called menus. This is what will help your visitors navigate your website. In WordPress, we call that a menu. Now, the primary menu we have right now, it says Home and Contact. We're going to change that to Top Menu. And notice it's going to change that to Home and Contact here. I'm going to alter this and customize this over here. So I'm going to get rid of, I don't really care for home. And I'll tell you in a second why, because this right here is a home button and many people know that on the internet. So I don't believe you need a home button if you don't want. I also don't feel like I need contact at this moment. And so notice I've deleted both items. Now I'm going to add an item. I'm going to add assignments, and I'm going to add short one. Now I'm going to create short one here as a sub page to my assignment page. And so that means it's a child page to that assignment page. And so when I select this, it'll allow me to build a selection of assignments underneath an assignments header, which will consolidate that menu so you don't have a long list of text and assignments. Now make sure you hit publish, and that will publish the changes you've made. When that's done publishing, you can X out of here and it brings you back to your website. So if I went home, this is my website URL. If I drop down assignments and select short one, this brings me to my site, or to the page I just created. Now, this is important. You're going to want to copy this URL address, and this is what you're going to paste into your assignment page in Google Classroom to turn in. I've made a separate video on how to do that, so please reference that when trying to learn how to turn in your assignments for this course.